into the EU Masters Finals in what could be the final game of the day as Corp are 2-1 up over BTXL. I'm Medic, this is trouble. We are here, we're bringing you all the action. I will say that last game was slightly quicker than the games we've had previously by about, 15 minutes or so. Karmine Corp getting an early lead and being able to snowball the game away from BTXL.
That's in Karmine Corp fashion. I think they are the fastest team in the tournament anyway, with their fastest game being only 17 minutes. Nowhere near that, obviously. In this best of series, you wouldn't expect that in the final when teams are so evenly matched. And honestly, Karmine Corp are pulling out ahead in this series, at least for me. They're showing that any single comp that they will bring out, they can execute on. They know their game plan, they know who they need to get fed, they know how they need to play the game, and they're just flawless when it comes to execution. First game, fumble, we throw it out the window, we forget about it. Targamas said yesterday, it's a best of 5. It doesn't matter if you miss one game. But from there on out, game face.
Right, seems that they have their game face on right now. 2 in a row, bit surprised that they banned out Jinx here on the blue side alongside the Kai'Sa and the Orianna. BTXL now going to take away the Tristana themselves.
They remembered it's a champion.
Apparently so, to ban it out, and immediately Karmine Corp like, okay, well, Markoon only plays Hecarim. Cinkrof plays Hecarim as well, so we'll take that one for ourselves.
My mind is blown right here. You have first pick. You don't want to trade the Hecarim, I get that, because you need to ban the Orianna out. Hatrixx has been a big problem with the Orianna. Even if it hasn't worked out, that shockwave becomes a huge problem to sort of keep track in the fights. But the Jinx has been a pivotal point for these teams. It has been the battle of the Jinx. Whoever gets it wins the game. And Markoon is getting pushed again in the Udyr, the champion he won the first game with.
Yeah, Markoon, not well known for his Udyr, but as you say, did have a good performance on it in game 1. We'll see where BTXL want to go with their second pick here. We'll note, yes, Nocturne has been banned out by Karmine Corp in every single other game and is immediately locked in here for BTXL.
That is massive. Nocturne has been banned out of the tournament for almost, I think, every pick and ban. He's either been picked or banned the entire tournament because he's such a strong champion. Refusing vision is such a huge tool that you can have, and you can't even go Twisted Fate because it doesn't work anymore. So you take away all the global presence for Karmine Corp, and instantly they pull the trigger for the defensive with the Ezreal.
Yeah, I mean, getting xMatty an AD carry he's comfortable on that can be relatively safe into a Nocturne makes a lot of sense. So there is the Ezreal. BTXL here could go for their... Okay, it's Nocturne, Kennen, Udyr. Throw everything out the window. BTXL coming out swinging here in game 4.
That's 5-head Medic.
5-head?
If you pull down the Paranoia, you can't see. So you don't know where Kennen is coming from.
Oh, very true. Okay, so it's looking for flank positions here.
That's assuming he survives laning phase, right?
Yeah, assuming he survives into the Renekton in the laning phase. Of course, Kennen has the range advantage in that top lane matchup, so could harass down the Renekton pretty well. We move into the second phase of picks and bans, and we see the Alistair removed here by BTXL. And Karmine Corp, oh, well, let's see what they want to go for in terms of support bans, assuming it will be support focused.
At this point, I would trim down the Varus as well, if I was Karmine Corp, because it's a very easy tool to sort of pin down someone in position and then have the Kennen run in together with the Nocturne. It's also something that Deadly is extremely comfortable on. So push him onto something that is not his comfort zone, not the Ashe, not the Varus, not something that has a Yates. Take that all away from him and force him on something that he has to take a back foot on. Because so far, he has been the focal point for BTXL. If Deadly's popping off, BTXL wins. You take him off comfort, can this happen?
Well, he hasn't got the Kai'Sa, the Varus, the Tristana, or the Jinx to fall back on
the
now.
Ashe banned here.
Yeah, Ashe would make a lot of sense to ban that away. And then what are you looking at in terms of AD carries? I mean, we've still got the Lucian. Vayne instead will be banned away here from Deadly. So Lucian is still on the cards. Something like a Xayah possible. The Rakan instead is locked in here for BTXL.
Hint, hint.
I mean, yeah, Rakan and Xayah do work very well together in the bot lane.
Actually, it's a pretty cool combo against a lot of the dive that Karmine Corp have drafted for themselves. The Hecarim together with the Renekton is going to be going straight into the backline. Xayah with that ultimate evades any sort of assassination potential that a team can throw her way. So it would make sense. BTXL with a huge wombo combo. I'm sad this Taric didn't get locked in because it would make so much sense at this point. Protecting from the wombo combo that BTXL has and then re-engaging would be so gold for Karmine Corp here.
Instead, Targamas currently looking at the Pike for support. It works okay into the Rakan. Pretty easy to land your hooks when you know exactly where the enemy support is going to go. I'm not sold on it into things like a Kennen. Maybe into a Nocturne it could be okay, but instead, they will turn back to the Taric. Cosmic Radiant's going to do a lot of work in these team fights, and there is the Xayah for Deadly.
Mind is blown here because this is a 5,000 IQ move from Karmine Corp, making sure that the Taric ultimate is down though, when the trigger has been pulled from Paranoia is extremely key, and you need to get your members all in. Plus, you don't know where the Kennen is coming from because Paranoia is down. These are going to be 3 key ultimates that we're going to have to keep our eyes on every single time in every fight. How fast is Targamas? And when the Paranoia goes down, does Nocturne really go in, or is that a bait?
Exactly, like with Paranoia, you can just pop it and be like, well, you guys can't see anymore. Let's see if I decide to fight you at all. We'll see. Also, I think we're going to have a lot of fights around those objectives. And both these compositions fight relatively well around objectives. You've got great zone control from the side of BTXL. You've got good disengage and threat from the side of Karmine Corp. And I will note it is Renekton in the mid lane with Chogath going up towards the top side here for Karmine Corp. So just a little bit of a better matchup into that Kennen.
Yeah, absolutely. And also on the Nocturne, if he uses that shield, you can actually run him down with the Renekton, getting the Bruiser into Renekton. It's a pretty good matchup as well. Renekton just typically just wants to keep on pushing the lane. You know what? I'm not Vedius. I'm not 100%, you know, 150% onto the Nocturne mid lane, but he does have a lot of early lane push, which means that this will also allow him to sort of accompany Markoon always, because even though I made an LEC segment about Markoon, because he has been popping in the NLC, here having to change his style, coming in as a rookie, 18-year-old, it's his first EU Masters, he has been stumbling a little bit, so having a little bit more support from his lanes could potentially give him what it takes to shine.
Yeah, and I think, you know, part of that you have to look at his opposition, right? He's playing into Cinkrof, who's played in the EU LCS, who is a very strong jungler who's been around for a while. And so the expectation is perhaps you will falter every now and again. But as you say, only 18 years old, Markoon has a long and storied career ahead of him, I am sure. It looks like he's going to start on the top side of the map once again. Maybe we'll see both junglers working their way down towards the bot lanes.
And looking at these two, BTXL have options here. Because having the Nocturne, you can actually play side lane. You can shadow your Kennen, you can shadow your Udyr, you can be there whenever you're needed. Whilst Karmine Corp later on are gonna have to rely on their 5v5 team fight potential. They're going to have to rely on Targamas being there every single time the trigger gets pulled. And in this early stage of the game, where Targamas is not always going to be around, I know that he roams a lot, but he needs to make sure that he stays bot lane as well, so they don't take the advantage, so they don't dive the Ezreal. When he's not around and you're able to pull the trigger with the Paranoia, this can create opportunity for BTXL. So we're looking at level 6 Hatrixx leaving the lane, and where does he choose to go? Because my eyes fall straight into Orome on the top side.
Has been sort of the story of BTXL's series so far. If you can get Orome ahead, he can help carry you through the mid game, and then Deadly really comes online as the game goes on. Actually, looks like Cinkrof is going to start down towards the bottom side here, with Markoon doing a solo red to begin this matchup. And I'll be honest, none of these lanes really scream gankable to me. It's going to be pretty difficult for them to actually find any early ganks before we get towards those level 6s.
4 minutes into the game. What Deadly and Advienne usually will do when they have to not leash is build up a wave, and at 4 minutes in, they will shove it underneath opponent tower, and you'll suddenly see Advienne roaming the map, usually towards the mid lane. So this is where my eyes go, because here Deadly and Advienne will hit level 2 due to not having to stay back for the jungler, and they can take advantage of that, already having the wave being built up for themselves.
And right now they do have that advantage, as you say. Of course, Rakan and Xayah, two of the best 2v2 bot support duos in the game, and Wave will stack up into xMatty and Targamas here. We're just going to catch it, and Well, it's 2 minutes 30 right now, but it's looking very much like they can leave this lane in just a moment as Deadly puts some feathers into xMatty's back. Gets dazzled, but the Grand Entrance coming out from Advienne will keep Targamas at bay. With the cannon wave pushing in, expectation is that Advienne will just want to take this cannon for himself, and then the wave will get underneath Karmine Corp's bot lane. Instead of Deadly and Advienne moving, though, it looks like it's going to be BTXL making a beeline for the bot lane. There's a huge wave stacked up. It's going to take xMatty a little while to clear it out. Does now have the level 2, so we'll have the arcane shift, but the dive is on. Targamas the target. Advienne gets the knock-up TP immediately. Double TPs invested from Karmine Corp. BTXL are able to walk out of this one, and the knock-up's going to land here onto Markoon, though he has to flash away. So it's double TP for a flash. Meanwhile, Orome doesn't invest a TP of his own, and so is just able to get those extra waves in the top lane.
Honestly, early on, that is huge. Yeah. Especially when we said Hatrixx, level 6, he gonna look to roam. The TPs are gonna be massive, especially from Saken. And now I just realized that also xMatty has gone to be here. They are trying to mirror all this global presence that BTXL will have on the map in just level 6. And in 3 levels time, these teleports will not be up and available medic. And there's also a dragon that now BTXL can sneak in for free.
It's one of those plays where BTXL had a game plan, they enacted it, it was reacted to by Karmine Corp, and we don't really know the ramifications until they happen. We know what could be the ramifications, as you say. Yeah. Double TP advantage now to BTXL, they're in a really strong position, but unless BTXL actually use that lead, it won't really surmount to much. Deadly here, going to be able to clear out this wave. The TP from xMatty, as you said, means that he goes back, has got himself the tier first on this Ezreal, as to be expected. And he will just farm that up as quickly as he can. You will see some disconnects on your screen. There was a pause. It has been rectified. The game should not pause for us on this side. So it's not Orome rage quitting, I can promise you that. It's having a pretty fun time in that top lane against the Chogath.
Especially playing the Kennen, right? Something we don't see very often. Kennen is like one of the most fun champions to watch in the game because he has that pop potential that we don't necessarily see with the champions that are in the meta right now. We see the very scaling front-to-back team fight compositions, but the Kennen just brings the fun, the Zeus, the juice into all these. Where's the Kennen gonna come from? And it has been all about flanks. 3 games now, it's been all about flanks. It's been about Saken finding them. Now it's time for Orome to shine with them.
The question is whether he'll be able to find that flank. Does have the teleport. And with the dragon up, I wonder if BTXL will start to play around it. Advienne looking for a little bit of engage here onto xMatty, but xMatty has the arcane shift, jumps away. Advienne will just help Deadly catch the wave. Markoon has now started up the Drake. Targamas has left a bot lane once again. Is looking for Saken. Has the Bastion and the Dazzle available, but Hatrixx quite low on mana here. However, I believe he will have enough for his spell shield if Karmine Corp overinvest. And Hatrixx just backs away. Advienne coming up from the bottom lane as the dragon is secured 5 minutes in. BTXL get the first objective of the game.
And Karmine Corp play very calm and collected right here. They know they have TP disadvantage. Level 6 though on Hatrixx. What's where this Nocturne? Oh, Matty!
He just arcane shifted aggressively, thinking they could get the stun onto Advienne, and immediately has to flash away because of it. That was just a little bit of an overstep from xMatty there more than anything else.
And that gives even more incentive to Hatrixx to go back, buy items, and make his way down bot before Targamas has crucially his ultimate available to him. So as you can see, Hatrixx now will go back in the map. He's most likely going to have to TP mid to catch the wave, but we need to keep our eyes on him because that global presence with the Paranoia is going to be key for BTXL early. If they can't use it early, it's going to be really, really good for Karmine Corp.
With Hatrixx going back, TPing back into the mid lane, he has now got himself a Bramble vest. Has the Paranoia as well to join any fight in a side lane, as you said. And I really wonder what BTXL are going to do with this, because you've got a minute on the Rift Herald. Maybe you want to fight around that, but Adams and Saken's TPs are about 2/3 of the way off cooldown. So we are working our way towards them, actually having them back up for a future fight. And Karmine Corp have shown us they are not apprehensive of taking a fight. They are not ones to shy away from a little skirmish in some of these trades. But for the moment, all is calm on Summoner's Rift. It was such a huge disparity between this game and last as well.
We had a minute, a kill per minute.
10 minutes we had 10 kills. Here we are 7.5 minutes in. There are no kills yet. One objective has been secured, and I think part of that will be apprehension with it being possibly the final game of the series. Karmine Corp know all they have to do is win this to claim the EU Masters Finals, to make the French region the only region to ever have 3 champions.
Cinkrof has smelled it.
BTXL are looking for the play. Everyone has smelled this one. The paranoia coming out. xMatty trying to get away. Fear down. Grand entrance down. Onslaught of Shadows going to do a lot of work here. Deadly pops a Feather Storm. And the tanking is good from BTXL. But here comes Saken. Deadly flashes the wall. Advienne going to flash away as well. The root goes on to Targamas. But in the end, Hatrixx will fall. A 1-for-1 exchange in the bot lane.
And the hero of this fight is not even on the screen right now.
It's Adam.
It's Adam interrupting Orome's teleport right there, which would have meant death for every single member of K-Corp. Are we seeing a 1v1?
Yeah, Adam puts down the exhaust. He has the unsealed spellbook here, so is able to exhaust Orome. It's going to get chunked out just a little bit, but Orome has had to flash here. Another knockup's going to land. Adam just needs a couple more auto attacks here for the consume. Orome pops the slicing maelstrom. Adam down to about 200 HP. Cinkrof on his way towards the top side as well, and even Advienne is like, okay guys, I want a piece of this action, I want a piece of the Barney that's happening up here, but in the end, both the top laners will be happy enough just to disengage the fight.
Oh, Cinkrof knows what's up though, and he's sticking around. Orome had to use his flash just to get away out of a queue from the Chogath. So yes, the Kennen is very important in fights where the paranoia goes down, but all alone, he's extremely volatile.
Cinkrof just helping Adam get this wave underneath the tower. He wants to make sure that Orome can't freeze it against him. It means that Adam wouldn't have to use the TP to get back. And we'll have another look at this bot lane play.
Oh, and here goes the teleport being cancelled. The Kennen would have been in there, and yes, they do trade one, but then you have everyone scattered around the map, and K-Corp are really quick at crashing in and bringing more members into the fight. 3 very, very healthy members. We have more.
Grand entrance used in the mid lane. TP coming in from Adam as well, and Advienne and Hatrixx seem to have just been able to walk away from that one. I have to assume that was Saken and Cinkrof starting the battle, and Hatrixx just calling on his support to help out and help him survive. There's a minute left on the next dragon, and we've seen so many dragons fought over in this series. I think we had more dragons in this series than Karmine Corp picked up in the entire group stage.
True.
But,
that's due to them not caring too much,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
When you're stomping the game, who cares about taking the dragon?
It just shows how much BTXL have grown across the course of playoffs as well. Remember, like, in groups, BTXL lost to Karmine Corp in 24 minutes.
Very convincingly.
Exactly, and this time, yes, they've lost a couple of times, but they have been fighting tooth and nail with the LFL representatives at the course of the series. Cinkrof is going to start up the Rift Herald, maybe just giving up that second dragon and accepting the plates that Shelly gladly gives to their recipient.
And honestly, you have to think that a Rift Herald right here is much better for Karmine Corp, because you're taking, you can even put your Chogath ahead at this point. He's already pressuring the Kennen. You can choose to give it to Saken in the mid lane, who has been the game breaker all these 3 games on whatever he plays in the mid lane. Whether it's an assassin, a bruiser, a tank, an ADC, whatever you want, he plays it. And hold on.
Hatrixx gets the fear off, but here's Advienne, the quickness from across the wall, and Saken walks straight into the waiting arms of BTXL. Paranoia popped here. Hatrixx actually decides to dive in. The dazzle goes wide. Dustbringer used for a little bit extra movement speed, but with the onslaught of shadows, he's going to get knocked back. xMatty happily accepts the kill.
A little bit of a head scratch right there. Maybe they thought they could bait more, create some time for Deadly to get there just in
Deadly
time.
has Feather Storm here, but he's stunned up. He's locked down. The True Shot Rush coming out. The Beast available for Adam has actually already been used. Advienne's going to be able to get away, but Adam kills off Deadly. And BTXL just set up a couple of plays and went tumbling down.
I was just about to say that they are much better having the Rift Herald from the side of Karmine Corp, because their team fight is much easier to execute come later on fight. It's literally a front to back. You've got your 4 tanks, and you've got xMatty onto the Ezreal as well, who can sit all the way in the backline free firing all of his shots, whilst BTXL have to find the pick. They have to find the perfect flank from the Kennen, and right here again, Hatrixx ends up getting caught in the mid, and even though they again get the first kill from the side of BTXL, Karmine Corp are so fast to crush in the entire team and bring the cavalry, and they did just that. Every time BTXL has pulled the trigger, Karmine Corp has replied.
I was just looking at that. Hatrixx used the paranoia, the second cast of it, to dodge away from a knock-up, so I don't blame him as much for using it after I thought perhaps in the first play may have made a bit of a mistake. Hatrixx going in here with the fear onto Saken will force him away. Markoon up towards the top side of this fight. Advienne has spent more time around the mid lane than he has bot lane.
I mean, it's been the name of the game, right? Keep Hatrixx alive. In game number 2, they even brought the Jinx in the mid lane to keep Hatrixx alive. The more Hatrixx stays alive, the better it is for BTXL. Unfortunately, again, 0-2 in this game, but he plays more of a utility role in this one rather than a carry role. He's put the paranoia down and allow Orome to wreak havoc in the backline. And now you see that the proto build has been completed, so we're looking at the next objectives, which is most likely going to be that Infernal Dragon. Infernal Sword is going to be huge for a composition like BTXL's who want to go in and wombo combo.
Also opens up more flank opportunities for BTXL with some of the terrain on the map being destroyed. However, it opens up more opportunities for Karmine Corp to retreat as well, because there's more avenues of retreat. Rifthold goes down here in the bottom lane. Cinkrof in on towards Markoon, but Markoon can just run away, and this Rifthold isn't going to get anything. Markoon just going to walk up and clear it out. And xMatty tries to put some damage down where he can. Onslaught of Shadows used by Cinkrof. The quickness coming out as well. Paranoia, that's going to top lane. Cosmic Radiance just about keeping Cinkrof alive. Saken's joined the bot lane play, but that Rifthold dies before it can even get in. Plates were falling off anyway, and BTXL were able to kill off Adam in the top lane and survive this bot lane play. They are 1,000 gold ahead. And even though Karmine Corp are walking in this wave, I'm not really sure what they can do. Hatrixx has TP, so does Orome. And BTXL are looking for a 5v3 here. Orome comes in, no slicing Maelstrom for him, but xMatty is stunned up and taken out. Another kill for BTXL. They are 2,000 gold ahead 15 minutes into this game.
That was 2 really fast and really clever plays by BTXL, and very pivotal at this point. You need to get that Udyr ahead, you need to get the Nocturne kills, you need to get the Kennen in the fights. And right there, Hatrixx was the catalyst of it all. K-Corp engaged on a fight down bot lane, and suddenly you hear darkness. You get absolutely scared that the Nocturne is gonna jump in, but what do you know? Hatrixx is actually engaged in the top lane fight onto Adam, taking down the Chogath, slowing down all that process where he gets bigger and bigger and bigger, whilst BTXL, not only do they manage to get out of a sticky situation, they take down the Herald before it even charges.
It felt like one of those, the Herald's about to time out, so I'm going to use it plays in the bottom lane, and this double TP. We talked earlier about how strong XL are at getting those TPs behind you. Karmine Corp had just overextended a little bit. So BTXL are now 2,000 gold ahead. There is a 40 CS difference between Deadly and xMatty. There is a 40 CS difference between Orome and Adam. And you can see those gold leads, about 600 in both the top and the bot lane for BTXL right now. Unfortunately for them, they did lose out on the second dragon, so that dragon stacking really isn't too far along, but there's an Infernal in a minute's time. And because both these teams love a little bit of Drake, they can look for it. Orome doesn't have TP to join the fight.
That's going to be crucial, because you're expecting to see the Paranoia together with a Slicing Maelstrom coming in, but now Orome is stuck on the top lane, doesn't have teleport, and it doesn't really matter if Adam cannot make it there, because the 4 versus 4 that is going to be there is stronger from the side of K-Corp. They've got their bruisers with the first items, which is huge. They've got the Trinity Force onto xMatty, which seems his poke is going to be hurt a lot, and they've got Markoon.
Yeah, Markoon just dazzled up, doesn't have the flash. Advienne is the one to be feared back here, stunned up as well. Won't be able to get away from xMatty, and now Deadly is next on the menu. He puts down the feathers, but that is more. Oh, he locks himself underneath the tower. He can't quite get the kill, and Saken will take him out as close as it could be. But in the end, Karmine Corp are the ones that come out on top. Hatrixx almost goes down here as well. Adam flashing forward, the Paranoia coming out. The silence not quite in range. Markoon's going to get knocked up underneath the tower. Paranoia in from Hatrixx. Markoon tanks up just enough tower shots to keep Hatrixx alive, and Saken will try and slice and dice his way forward. Has the flash with Dustbringer from Hatrixx is enough movement speed to get him away. While all of that was happening, Orome to... Oh, Saken flashes in! He was on a control ward! Markoon! Markoon!
He's like, okay.
He was on a control ward.
Oh, thanks.
Attack, move into bushes, people. That won't happen. Anyway, good play from Saken to pick up the kill. Well
yeah, and honestly, you see the nerves right here, right? Backs against the wall, you don't even see the control ward. But this play right here, Markoon checks into another bush, finds 3 members of Karmine Corp, and a 4th one coming in. You know you can't fight this. You know you don't have teleport onto Kennen on the top side. And then Deadly has to blow up his flash as well, which is going to be pivotal. With Xayah, if you don't have flash, you cannot walk through choke points to go for these dragon fights. And the BTXL are like, cool, we lost the bot lane fight. We need to pick one out somewhere else where we can win. And they try to go for Adam. Adam blows his summoners, both of them actually, and he almost gets a kill in return. And when you think they've just gotten out, Markoon TPs on a ward, and Saken ends up taking him down.
Yeah, I mean...
That's really... He's like literally on top of the wall.
It's just that you've walked into a bush and you haven't checked it moment. And Markoon gets taken out. Well played by Saken to secure that kill. Dragon did go down as well to Karmine Corp. Gold lead still 2,000 in favor of XL. But Karmine Corp are getting kills on these key carries. 2-2-2 on Ezreal. 3-1-2 on Saken on the Renekton. Adam going to try and survive a 3-man dive here in the bottom lane. Hatrixx has the paranoia, but there's no flashes across the board here. Actually, Orome has his.
Very crucial. He doesn't have the feast, so he can't execute anyone when they dive him.
Said he'll just back away. It looks like they're accepting Adam backing away. Forsaken getting top lane tower here. Trying to funnel more gold into the Renekton. Seeing if they can make him as strong as possible.
The reality is, though, every lane Orome is in, he's managed to free farm on his own, get solo experience, solo gold, and 2 towers. Yep. And now the next fight he's gonna come in, not only is he gonna have the damage and the reach with the proto build, but he's also gotten ahead of the curve. He already has his second item, very crucially, an hourglass, which means make or break in the fight for a Kennen. When you go all in, you need to survive that crucial moment where the CC is dropped on you. So Orome is going to be the person to look at in this fight. Is he going to be able to find the flanks? Will he be able to find the backline with the proto belt? And is the paranoia going to be a bait for Targamas ultimate?
Question always will be, can Orome find that backline? Can he find xMatty? Because xMatty will have flash and arcane shift, right? It's very difficult to lock down an Ezreal, who now has Manamune stacked up to that full-on Mura mana. Cinkrof will be acting as disengage with the Onslaught of Shadows. He's now looking for a bit of a flank. As the TP comes into the mid lane, 4 players from BTXL are around this. Cinkrof pops the Ghost. He does know he's in a 4v1 right now, right? As he continues just to chase forward. Level 12 on this jungle. It's a very strong. Advienne able to dodge to the side of the Rupture. Markoon farms up his Razor Beaks. There's a minute 50 seconds on the Dragon. Rift Herald was popped down, and Onslaught of Shadows used on Orome, trying to force him away. The paranoia coming out as well. Here comes Hatrixx. Dives onto xMatty, who dives away with the Arcane Shift. Deadly down to about 200 HP. The quickness coming out. Saken in the middle of it all as the Rift Herald now going to charge forward. Deadly low. Orome low. Orome does still have flank in the flash and the TP. Are there any wards for him to get to? There's one just on the outside of the Dragon Pit. Feather Storm used by Deadly to get away from the True Shot Barrage. That's massive. Deadly no longer has a cleanse, no longer has an ultimate, and only has that flash for this next fight. A minute on the Inferno. You have to feel that's what Karmine Corp are eyeing up hungrily. They'll be one away from the Soul. For now, they'll take the Scuttle Crab, and they'll look for a little bit more as they invade the blue buff. Targamas stepping forward, Rupture coming out. Adam has the Feast if he wants to feast this, but instead they're going to give the objective over to xMatty.
Honestly, massive props to K-Corp right there. We mentioned that the win condition is Kennen getting into the backline, stunning everyone, getting that space for Deadly to put feathers down. Oh.
Adam lands a double knockup. Advienne tries to answer, but somehow Advienne can't hit Chogath, who is quite large, generally. Champion model, very big. Couldn't quite find the edge of the connection.
He has a delicate soul.
That's true, he does. And for the moment, it is a stalemate, but Karmine Corp have been able to answer that gold deficit. Adam, flash, heal, trying to get away, but the slicing maelstrom still going to lock him in place. The paranoia coming out as well, and Adam is first on the menu. Meanwhile, Karmine Corp trying to do something on the other side of the map as Markoon goes in. Targamas hasn't used the Cosmic Radiance yet, and they've killed off Deadly. Remember, he had no Featherstorm, he had no way to survive. Saken diving onto the back line, and once again it's Saken. He did it on Rise yesterday, and now in a 1v3, he manages to pick up one. Hatrixx next on the menu, give it to xMatty, shut down! And BTXL may be seeing their hopes of a finals win slip away from their very eyes. Karmine Corp is on fire, and XL are terrified.
It's always Saken. It's always been Saken. One more chance that we're worth it was what Targamas said yesterday. And Saken proves that he is worth it. You want the Bruiser? He's got it. You want the Enchanter? He's got it. You want the Assassin? He's got it. He's got every single thing you want in his package, and he ain't afraid to use it in so much succession every single game. Does he need to split the fight? He does it. Does he need to dive in? He does it. This guy is insane, this EU Master. So again, they try to pull the trigger on Adam. It doesn't matter, because he survives too long. He's the front line, he is the tank for BTXL. And we mentioned how massive the combo with Orome and Hatrixx is gonna be in a team fight, and they have not used it yet. They use their weak members instead to try and fight the rest of Karmine Corp. And when Saken comes in, angry crocodile to finish off any remnants of BTXL.
Just such a well-played fight from Karmine Corp. They didn't even use Taric. Like, that's how well they played this fight. They were never low enough that Targamas was like, okay, I have to pull the trigger on my defensive button, because we talked about the paranoia being a threat that Targamas would have to react to. If Hatrixx pops the paranoia and immediately jumps on someone, it's not a threat anymore. Like, you know who he's on. If he's on Adam, it's like, well, I can't save him. I don't need to pop my Cosmic Radiance. And now, Karmine Corp have taken the lead for what feels like the first time this game. They are 3 Drakes to 1 up. There was an Infernal Soul for them with an Ezreal on their team in 3 minutes time, and they have a Chogath for a Baron secure if they decide to go for it. xMatty at 2.5 items, Saken at 2.5 items, 3, 1, and 4 on this Crocodilian. He is so strong, and he has so consistently performed for Karmine Corp throughout European Masters. And once again, he's able to force BTXL away, and if you're BTXL, you're wondering where it all went wrong. You've had a few good fights. You had that bot lane dive where you got double TPs out. You were in the lead for a lot of this game. You were in the lead. Some of the other games with Markoon perhaps has overstepped. Paranoia comes out. True Shot Barrage used as well. Flank TP, here comes Orome. And there is the slicing Maelstrom. He ripped straight through them with the Cosmic Radiance. Is enough to keep him alive. Advienne on the backline. Deadly still surviving. Saken trying to do what he can. He's met in the middle by Hatrixx, but Saken once again gets on Deadly. Look at Hatrixx being able to survive on the backline, and it's Adam and Saken against the world. 4v2. Saken needs to get some healing off if he can. He gets a double. The dive back in from Advienne, and now Saken is down. Only Adam survives. BTXL have somehow found a fight and held on for their lives.
Huge Orome flank right there. That was massive. Cosmic Radiance was so well pulled by Targamas, but it just was not enough. And this BTXL proves that they have more than one carry, that it's not the 2020 Deadly show anymore, because Orome shines and Hatrixx shines so well in this fight. Cinkrof whiffs the ultimate right there, not on the right members, and they're all bunched up in this choke point. Orome lives for that moment, gets a 4-man slicing Maelstrom there, and even though, yes, the ultimate from Taric comes out, they all dissipate from the fight, they don't touch anyone, and they dive back in on the cooldowns. This back and forth that BTXL did here was so well played. They were running out when their cooldowns were down, they were going back in when their cooldowns were up. Clutch Hourglass right there on the silence as well, and they ended up destroying Karmine Corp. Now, the key to this fight is that everyone was together in a small choke point as 5. Advienne got a 5-man taunt. Orome got a 4-man slicing Maelstrom. Can they replicate?
That's the question, because in a minute we have that Infernal fight. Cinkrof currently caught out on Sword of Shadows used to try and get him away. Orome does still have flash here, and Cinkrof is dead. TP coming in the mid lane as well. Here comes the Paranoia. TP Paranoia being used by Hatrixx as he joins the fight. Dives onto Adam, maybe a little bit too deep. As Adam comes in for the flank, it was actually Saken that Hatrixx was fighting. Adam came in from the side. BTXL able to get all 5 players out alive. 50 seconds on the Drake, 30 on Cinkrof, who will be back up for this Infernal Soul fight. No TPs for Saken or for Hatrixx. What are we in terms of summoner spells? Importantly, AD carry flashes you always have to look at. xMatty will not have his, Deadly will not have his. Also, Advienne will not have the flash Rakan engage that we often see from Rakans. Orome does have its flash. Slicing Maelstrom is still on cooldown though. That Kennen ult won't be able to have the impact that perhaps he would want in a fight. He's in a very strong flank position.
I'm not sure who he's trying to catch there because I don't think he can 1v1 anyone at this point without slicing Maelstrom. So I think he's sitting in that position just making sure that he can possibly
Maybe he's trying
get
to
the flag.
stun Cinkrof.
He's strapped.
He's gone straight for Targamas, but yeah, he's all by himself. On the back, he's going to Lightning Surge. He will get away, but now, here's the thing. How does Orome get into this dragon fight? Like, you just chase. If you're Karmine, Corp, you just engage right now. They're going for it. xMatty on the back line. Rupture doesn't quite land. Saken going in. Doesn't have the Dominus. Cinkrof going to chase away Orome for the moment. Slicing Maelstrom back off cooldown. Cinkrof, now he is all by himself. He dives onto Orome, but Cinkrof into the stopwatch. Hatrixx flashes forwards. The fear coming out as well, and Cinkrof will go down. Karmine Corp have started up the dragon, but without their jungler. That's how they get it.
Smite.
They have Adam. They have
and Markoon doesn't have Smite.
Karmine Corp get the Infernal Soul. Markoon did not have Smite. I'm not sure where he used it or whether perhaps XL had just decided they didn't want to fight for the Infernal Soul. Gold lead still in favor of BTXL, but now against Infernal Soul. BTXL very much on the back foot. Cyrilda's Grudge now finished for xMatty. 3 items on that Ezreal.
So here's the thing. When you don't have particularly really hard hitters on your team and all you have is a rocky front line, because the Renekton right now is a tanky boy as well. He's got the Taric, he's got the Gold Drinker. He's not doing as much damage as a traditional carry would in the mid or the top lane for Karmine Corp. They've opted full tanks and xMatty doing damage. That Infernal Soul will come in clutch for them because that little bit of more damage that Hecarim needs to finish off a carry or the Chogath or the Renekton will be there in courtesy of that soul that they just took down.
Oh, it's such a tense series, dearie me. I didn't sign up for this. I was expecting, honestly, I came into this weekend and I was like, okay, Karmine Corp have got it. They were so strong throughout group stage. Quick 3-0. Like even yesterday, I thought quick 3-0 and then I watched them struggle in their series. I watched BTXL overperform in a lot of people's eyes. And then this series today has just been so tense, so back and forth, so neck and neck. And every single player has had moments of brilliance. Every single player has had moments where they've really stepped up. And now the question is, who does it at the final hurdle? Who gets over just that little bit further? Karmine Corp currently in the advantage in this game, although they are 500, 1,000 gold behind. Infernal Soul more than makes up for that. They have a 3-item AD carry. They have a 3-item mid laner. They have a tanky front line as well. And the question is, can BTXL once again find the flank? Can Orome once again find that TP flank that worked so well for them in the past? He's 4-0-6. From Worlds to the EU Masters Finals, can this man's redemption story find its conclusion?
You know what, Medic? He's feeling it. He's got the Magi's in there. He's got the pot in there. This is make or break fight for BTXL, and they know it. This is why Orome has bundled up. He's like, I haven't died yet. I'm not dying this game. I need this win. BTXL needs this win, and Orome is stepping up for them. Level 16 Slicing Maelstrom is going to tear through the HP bars from Karmine Corp.
You can see he's trying to find this flank as well, but look at all of the wards. Like, Karmine Corp have 3 wards per square inch of the map right now. They know exactly where he is. Adam trying to stand in the pit, trying to keep Orome away. Cinkrof looking for an engage, goes in onto Hatrixx, gets the double fear back. Saken diving forward as well, but Deadly's going to pull those feathers back. Hatrixx is already dead though. Cosmic Radiance has been used. Orome getting chased off towards the top side, pops the Slicing Maelstrom, that's huge. The fact that he no longer has that teamfight ult could totally change this game. Cinkrof looking to try and catch out Orome. Saken going in with the Slice and Dice as well, but won't find the connection. Hatrixx dead, Orome no ult. Karmine Corp should turn their eyes towards this Baron.
Oh, and this is so crucial right now because Hatrixx, who puts the paranoia down, he's not there to provide that veil where Karmine Corp cannot see. And Markoon has his flash available. Can he make it for his team though? This is a 5v4 without Slicing Maelstrom.
How do you outsmite, feast and smite? Markoon chased away by xMatty, feast available. Adam diving in, the quickness coming out as well from Deadly, but Deadly's cut down on the back line. Saken once again finds the kill. xMatty did a wonderful job of keeping Orome away from the fight. He made sure that Kennen was never able to get anywhere near this battle, and now Karmine Corp are looking for more. The flash, the dazzle, the stun, the shutdown. Targamas will take it, and Saken's like, hello Hatrixx, you're walking straight into my open arms. Double TPs coming out from Karmine Corp. They have the enemy surrounded, and Hatrixx is getting chased down by Karmine Corp. The LFL have come to party in spring once again, looking for the third consecutive win in spring here in the EU Masters. Hatrixx will retreat, but the Baron has been started by Karmine Corp.
And again, Karmine Corp do a fantastic job at keeping Orome at bay. He is the sole win condition right now for BTXL. He's the only person that can carry them to victory. And once you push him out of a fight, once he can't get the flank, everything is warded behind him. Everything is warded all the time. Adam's trying to find him. xMatty's trying to find him. It's a search the Yordle game for Karmine Corp. Once you find the Kennen and you isolate him, oh, they found Adam though.
Adam doesn't have flash, doesn't really have anywhere to go. He's just cut down in his prime. Adam a little bit overextended without the rest of his team. The True Shot Barrage rips through Deadly, but isn't quite enough for now.
And in 55 seconds, everyone's gonna have to put their hearts on the Rift. Everyone's gonna have to fight for that Elder Dragon, because it's gonna mean literally game. These two teams will have to fight for it, which means whoever gets it turns around the fight and decimates their opponents. So it's life or death. Orome needs to make sure he stays alive. BTXL needs to make sure that he gets in a good position to carry. And all Karmine Corp have to do is what they've been doing the whole game. Find Kennen, isolate Kennen, don't let him come in. Targamas is just chilling. Hasn't had to use his ultimate almost the whole game.
It's been a very strong performance so far from Karmine Corp. They are one team fight away from joining Misfits Premier and LDLC as a title holder for the LFL, and Cinkrof wants to make that moment happen sooner. Deadly takes half his HP from a True Shot Barrage. BTXL still holding on. The first time an NLC team has ever made the finals, and they are not ready to go out without a fight. They are looking for that fifth game. They are looking for silver scrapes, but right now Karmine Corp are not giving them an inch. They're not giving them a moment to breathe, a moment to wait, a moment to rest. They continue to push in. Baron buff minions in the mid lane. Elder Drake now spawned. Saken will start it. Adam has the feast. He's looking for Orome. That's him with the knockup. Orome forced away, and in goes Cinkrof, but the dive on the back line is huge. Cosmic Radiance coming out will keep Saken alive. xMatty survives. Hatrixx does nothing. Adam in a 1v3 will go down in the end, but the dragon is the target. True Shot Barrage, the sniper finds his mark, and now the Elder Drake well and truly secured here for Karmine Corp. BTXL trying to get in, but they can't do anything about it. There's the Elder, there's Deadly, he's dead, and Saken's looking for more. In the end, xMatty and Targamas will help clean up the kill, and Karmine Corp are marching down victory road.
BTXL cannot knock down that blue wall running at them. Adam 1v4 in the entirety of BTXL, and Karmine Corp have raised the bricks, they've raised the blue wall, and not a single team has been able to take them down.
Hatrixx, the last man standing here for BTXL, but I feel he will watch his Nexus towers fall. He dives in, the Onslaught of Shadows coming out, and Orome is dead before he can even find an inch. The second Nexus tower, the target, and Karmine Corp have done it. They join Misfits Premier and LDLC as EU Masters champions.
This is the LFL, baby. Every single year in spring, they bloom, they come in strong, and oh my God, I have no words. Karmine Corp coming in with 5 members they have never played before together. Brand new organization. They're putting 5 points together. It's working out so well for them. And they all play so well individually, but together as a team. It is honestly mind-blowing. Congratulations to these guys because they played insanely well.
I mean, you just look at their season. Started spring 2021, won the regular season 13-5, won the finals 3-0, and then won EU Masters. What more can you say about this team that their record doesn't already tell you? They are phenomenal. And the LFL once again claim an EU Masters title. Of course, commiserations to BTXL. They put on a valiant stand, more of a stand than many people I think expected them to, even taking a game off Karmine Corp. And for the NLC, claiming their first ever finals, but they just couldn't quite do enough in the end. Karmine Corp, too darn strong.
Too good. They're too good.
Too darn strong. I hope to see some of these guys back in the LEC, or some of them making their first appearances perhaps in summer or next year. I need a breath after that game, I'm gonna be honest, in trouble.
Saken, baby, get him in there. Get him in there. I think he's proved more than enough that he's ready. See, he's ready to get back on.
I mean, there's a lot of players from this EU Masters that I think would quite easily slot into LEC teams. Perhaps we need 12 teams. Who knows? Get more players in.
Get more teams.
Just get more people in. For now, though, that's it from us. Thank you very much, Trouble, for joining me on the day. We're going to hand it over to Law, who is standing by with Adam from K-Corp.
Thank you very much, Medic. Thank you very much, Trouble. Amazing series today. And Adam, congrats on winning the EU Masters, and yeah, congrats on continuing the legacy of LFL teams winning Spring Split. I'm going to do my best not to cry here, but I'm so happy. What does it mean to you to win today? I'm sorry, I'm just going to stop you one sec because I can't hear you. Maybe we can triage this backstage.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Hi. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
All good. All good. How was the series for you?
Yeah, so like I was saying, like this is actually something amazing, you know. Like we've been working so far since January, and seemed like we win this tournament. I feel like this is really amazing. Like I feel a bit sad, a little bit, because I think I could have done a bit better, but like my teammates just carried me so bad, and like I'm so glad I have them.
That's you being a perfectionist, as always. You guys played amazingly here. And you were saying it, actually, you worked so hard to get there at the beginning of the year. For people who don't know, this team was formed at the beginning of the year, actually. Adam was playing with K-Corp last year in 2nd division, and you were a rookie back then. You were also a rookie in the LFL this year. Talk me through the journey from the beginning of Spring Split to this EU Masters finals that you were aiming for.
I mean, like this was kind of my ambition, like, you know, to go to ER League, but like I had like really zero knowledge at the beginning of the split, but like the coaching staff and my wonderful teammates, like they helped me improve so bad, like during the splits, and they helped me become the player I am now, and I'm really grateful to have them like among me.
Yeah, and you had the blue wall, the ultras, all the fans cheering for you all along. Did it help you throughout the tournament, knowing that you had so many fans cheering for you?
Like for sure, you know, the K-Corp community is really huge. It's really the 6th player. Like the blue wall has been helping us since the team is on. So yeah, I mean, it's really a 6th player, and like, you know, we just do it for them. We just do it for our CEO Kamel and Prime. Yeah. We just do it for our sponsors, MSC and Chupa Chups. We do it for ourselves, for our career also, and yeah.
I'm thinking that Kamel lost his voice today on the OTP broadcast. We'll need to double check about that later. But what's the next step for you personally, and also the team? Because we saw all these rumors about K-Corp, how much we want to see K-Corp either in MSI, LEC one day, whatever. But yeah, what is going to be your next focus here?
I mean, personally, I think that I don't know. Like, you know, I've heard some rumors, but like for the moment, I don't know really well what's going to happen. For the rest of the team also, like I don't know. Like all the team, we were really focused like for the EU Masters, and like we didn't even want to know what would happen after. So I guess now we're just gonna see what's going to happen to us, and let's go.
All right, well, looking a bit at the past then, what would you take from this journey that's going to help you in the later stages of your career?
I think I've learned a lot. I think humanly, like I learned how to be a really good teammate, because like being a player is something, but being another teammate is a good teammate is really something else. And I won't lose what I learned actually, like this split, to be humanly good towards my teammates, and that's also what can help us, you know, being like a better team. If we're good human, we will like be a good team, and that's the most important, I think.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see Karmine Corp in summer in the LFL, and maybe seeing you one day in the LEC. That's my hope, at least. But Adam, for now, thank you so much for the interview. Et félicitations pour ces Zoe Master. You guys have been amazing, really. It was a delight to watch.
Merci.
De rien, à très bientôt. And back to us on this side of the broadcast, because I'm just going to walk like this.
That was crazy.
And
that was
yeah,
crazy
just brag a bit about the fact that I expected my team to win, obviously. But we have to give some credits to BTXL, of course. They played amazingly this series.
And it's especially because like we came from the BTXL we saw from the first week. All of us NLC casters, we were sitting backstage. We were like, right, I guess it's happening again. We thought we had hope and our team was just going to run out, but it was nothing like that. They fought their way back through the groups, through the quarters, through the semis, couldn't overcome the finals, but they showed up with a higher individual level that we had first anticipated.
And I feel like despite only going 3-1 and not going to 5 games, I feel like BTXL can kind of leave with their heads high. I think if this was another day, I think BTXL could have taken the series. These games were neck and neck. This last game was very difficult for them. Their composition is all about diving in. And I feel like K-Corp adapted so well with the Taric. Full bruiser comp and an Ezreal, it's so difficult for XL to find the fights. I feel for them. I used to be on XL. I feel for all the coaching staff, all the players. It's much suck a lot losing at the last hurdle, but definitely all props to them.
Yeah, but you have to think about adaptability from both teams, actually, because coming into the series today, we were hoping for some new picks on the K-Corp side, but also from BTXL to be able to keep up with them, and that's what we've seen here, Goldberg.
Yeah, we were talking about this, like so many of these champions we're seeing here, the Renekton mid, the Corki earlier today, which was the first time Saken brought that out, and then with the Akali as well, there was so much flexibility. Adam and Chogath as well, the Taric, you mentioned it yourself. This is what champions are made of, knowing that you have your own playstyle, but also that you can adapt and overcome to these situations when you're presented by them. And we saw it from both sides, really. BTXL tried as well with some finicky composition. I gotta say, I still expected K-Corp to come out ahead when I saw these drafts, because it kind of felt like towards these last games, they just had that little edge.
Yeah, definitely. I think small edge in draft for sure, and I feel like BTXL's win condition was kind of clear from the start. It was get the mid push, dive bot. That was their clear win condition. They did it level 3, they forced TPs. They did it level 6, and they got a kill. The problem is, I think they were read like a book in a way. K-Corp knew exactly where they were going. Adam on the Chogath, although he was also getting the off, he was doing his job, clearing waves, playing the weak side, and all the attention was towards the bot side.
And now when you think about K-Corp, as a team, as a whole, when I talked about it during the interview, this structure was formed 2 years ago. They made it to the EU Masters on their first year. What are the takeaways from this performance?
It's unreal to me. I mean, I feel like all these players have had a lot of struggles in their careers. You know, Adams finally started his career. Cinkrof's had a lot of barricades or hiccups in his career. Saken as well with the LEC debut not going his way, and then
Targamas as well. Yeah.
Targamas as well with the LEC debut. xMatty never really found his footing. It feels like all these players have finally come together to fit each other so well. And I love the interview with Adam saying like, what he's learned is the most is how to be a teammate, how to be a teammate for his team, how to be there for them. And I feel like this is almost like a family. It's so nice to watch.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, the story itself is so incredible from what they came from. And towards this end, like, it also shows with the stigma that's kind of been having. Like, if you've been in the LEC and you fall out, you can't make it. That's kind of been the thing. Like, it's always because we got new rookies coming in. And with good reason for that. We have insanely good rookies. But as you said yourself, Saken showing up here, looking like the best mid laner of the tournament by far, at least in these finals as well. Cinkrof as well with the jungle pathing from the early game where he's been so crazy on the Hecarim, on the Udyrs, on the Sinsaos as well that we see where he just takes over games. And these are 5 guys that are so easily facilitated by each other. You could almost say that they were 5 outcasts that was put together and just created this dream.
Yeah, and I feel like although 5 of them are individually really, really well, what brings them together is the key thing. I feel like it's almost like a brotherhood, right? They have each other's backs. It's beautiful to see.
It's beautiful to see. I mean, I love the synergy from this team. And as I was saying to Adam, actually, I'm surprised to see who will make it into the LEC shortly.
That's always the question.
Yeah, and probably not in summer, but maybe next year. But who do you have your eyes on?
Well, it's hard to say not all of them.
All of
really.
them.
All 5 of them are so well. There's not like, I mean, Saken obviously has his 1v9 pop-off moments, Targamas moving around the map, Cinkrof with the early games, Adam with the crazy picks, with the crazy fights, Matty popping off in late games as well.
Exactly.
So every single one of them has an attribute that is a lot of success to, maybe have weaknesses, but no one found the exploits to their weaknesses in this tournament, and they were the ones who actually came away with the victory of EU Masters. And we've seen in the history of the EU Masters is most of the teams or most of the players that do make the finals eventually end up in the LEC because these are 5 very talented players. And BTXL as well, 5 very talented players. This series was on a knife's edge.
Exactly what you're saying. And I gotta say, like, often you'll look onto the flashy performances. So for Corp, you've often looked at the top side of the map. And with good reason, with rotations coming up, facilitating that. But I gotta say, towards this bot lane today, we saw 2v2 solo kills. We were talking about the xMatty Deadly rivalry now, which Matty, by the way, is leading 10-9. So he's finally ahead of Deadly in that one, beating that old rivalry. But they're getting 2v2 kills. Matty was huge on the Aphelios in the backline, on Ezreal where he could just be safe, on the Jinx himself as well. And Targamas as well, as a roaming threat, but also in the 2v2, we just saw so many stars right here in this final.
And you can see the trust from the draft in the gameplay as well. Adam can play tanks or weak side, or he can play strong side 1v9 performances, Darius, Olaf, things like this. Saken can also play late game carries. He can play Renekton mid if he needs to facilitate that, and then Matty as well. We can play Ezreal Taric bot lane, we can play weak side, we can soak the dives and be there in team fights, or we can play Jinx, we can play Aphelios. I think versatility and having Chillers back will definitely help this team outside the game.
A quick word before we test it out again about the LFL, but I have to bring it up because with this victory, the LFL is now the region with the most wins in the EU Masters. What does that say about my region?
It's the best. It's definitely the best TRL with those victories. I mean, so many players have come out of the French league into the LEC. I would not be surprised to see a couple, if not all, of these players eventually end up there as well.
Yeah, and the spring championship continues for the LFL. It seems like every time they win, it's just in spring every time. So
it's the spring
something
buff
about that time of the year for the LFL.
And I think also the OTP hitting 300,000 viewers. That's crazy as well. There's so many positives to take away, not only for the team itself, for Karmine Corp, but for the French scene in general.
Yeah, exactly. He said it. We have united fans and so many fans watching esports and coming together around this EU Masters. And that's a wrap for the event here. I'm looking for the rematch in summer. We'll see if BTXL can make it, or which team will make it actually. But that marks the end of the EU Masters Spring now in 2021. Thank you everyone at home for following us throughout the whole tournament, and we can't wait to see you again all in summer. But for now, that was all for us here in Berlin. Have a great night and see you soon.
That was a banger tournament. That was
so good.